What's up, Dreamedia family? This is Zach. Welcome back to another episode. Today, I am out here in Nashville, Tennessee, and we are doing a beautiful home theater installation. We'd like to make a micro video specifically on the Focal 1000 IWLCR6, which is one of our best-selling in-wall speakers. We're gonna make a separate video on the center speaker installation because we're actually gonna be utilizing their on-wall enclosure box, which I feel really opens up the possibilities of where you can install this product. So we're gonna be demonstrating in this video an in-wall installation for front left and right in this home cinema. In the other video of the enclosure for the center speaker, you'll find inspiration as to how simple it is to do and how you could probably fit this speaker into your own home. Regardless of if you have like cement walls like down in Florida, you can really bolt these puppies in anywhere. So I'm gonna be taking the front left and right, which we've already marked out with our cutout templates, and show you guys how to physically cut the wall open with the cutout templates as your guide, in addition to how to check stud placement, which I've done in the full installation video, but I'll be showing you guys again in just a moment. How to physically install the speaker inside of the wall, as well as some other little tips and tricks along the way. If you guys are interested in purchasing this product or anything else home theater related, be sure to reach out today for a free video consultation. Dreamedia is nationwide with preferred installers in 28 different states. We also have our Dreamedia Plus program, which is for premium home cinema builds where our senior staff gets hands-on and delivers white glove service from start to finish. All right, guys, well, let's get into this video. We're gonna be doing LCRs, not behind an acoustically transparent screen. In traditional home cinema, we like to use AT screens, acoustically transparent, so the speakers can be hidden behind the screen directly at ear level. But in this circumstance, we're gonna be using a different type of screen material called ALR, ambient light rejecting. The customer wants to come into this room and crank the lights all the way to 100 like they are now and still see his image. We're gonna be installing our speakers to the front left, front right, and center speaker down below the screen. So the speakers are gonna flank our screen rather than be behind the screen. We're actually going to be installing an on-wall enclosure. You can see they already had it painted for us to match the wall. For customers that may not have sheetrock, you can get these on-wall enclosures, this on-wall mount, and use the architectural speakers in any room. More importantly, I think what I really wanted to point out for my average home theater guys out there that have a room just like this, you know, standard sheetrock framing, 2x4, 2x6 walls. In many circumstances, the framing does not line up center to where you can pop that speaker in. This particular speaker is too large to fit in between any 16-inch stud bay or 24-inch stud bay, so we have to use an on-wall enclosure. Even if it can fit, like the Focal 100 series, many times that wall is not framed to where your 2x4s are gonna line up dead center.
Dead center.
And we want that center speaker to be perfectly mounted right at center, as high up as possible, right with our screen. What we've done so far, guys, is we've mapped out where our screen's going to be. We started off by catching center. This is the center of the wall. Me and Kellen just measured that out. And then we marked out the edge of the screen, which is here and here. So the next thing we need to determine is our speaker location for our front left, right, and center speakers. So what we're gonna be using is a stud finder. Check this one out, guys. It's one of my personal favorites, Franklin Sensors. You can pick it up on Amazon. Very basic stud finder, but I've had very good results with this. It doesn't pick up power lines, plumbing, or gas lines though. Luckily in this room, we can see right behind the wall, so it's not as big of a deal. If you look right here, you take that stud finder and you slide it across the wall, we're gonna figure out where our studs are. So we got one stud right here, and then our next stud is way over here. Our speaker needs to go right in between the studs here. Now we need to check the other side to ensure that it can line up and measure the same distance off the screen. That's actually perfect, guys. If you have the opportunity to mount the speaker here or here. I always recommend bringing it closer into the room because it's gonna cut back on those reflections off your sidewall. Now that we know that we have adequate stud positioning for our left and right speakers, the next step is I want to determine how high we're going to mount our screen. In this room, we have a 12-inch riser with a step up at the back of the room and over to the side. And then we're gonna have seating in 2 rows. So it's important to consider your sight lines, guys. When you sit down and the rear row, there's nothing worse than heads blocking your view in the front row. We're gonna take our projections of the rear row as well as our viewing angle into account whenever we go to install and determine our height of the screen. So Kellen, what height are we at?
We're looking at about 65 inches tall.
65 inches.
Overall.
65 inches total height. We got the additional height of the riser itself plus our seating. We're gonna need to be roughly about 2 to 2.5 feet off the ground. This is going to be our height. What we did is we factored in the type of seating that they're using in this space. We're gonna be doing a love sack, really cozy lounge, basically a big bed at the front of the room. So we're gonna try to go as low as possible on this screen so that we can get the screen right there at eye level for the front row, but also we don't want to be too low to where our dialogue coming out of our center speaker is affected. And we're about 30 inches from our baseboard. We're a total of 38 inches from the floor. All right, so we got the whole screen, everything marked out. We have the left of the screen here, bottom of the screen here, top of the screen there, right of the screen over here. And we have the center speaker marked out. We've taken into account our different type of seating and our sight lines for this particular project. And it looks like, just as a reference, guys, we're about 31 inches to our tweeter on this model. So next we're going to start cutting in our holes. So our left and right speakers, guys, we want the tweeters to match our surrounds as far as height goes. Kellen, what was the measurement on that?
57 inches to the middle of the tweeter from the floor.
Great, so now we're gonna go over here and put a little mark of that 57-inch marker so we can determine where we're gonna put our cutout. 57, about right here. So right here is where we want the center of our tweeter. Go over to this side, do the same thing, 57. All right, Dreamedia family, now that we have the screen marked out and we've determined where our stud locations are, as well as our center speaker placement, we're going to find the center of the screen, so then we can put our cutout template for our front left and right centered with the middle of the screen so that it looks aesthetically pleasing. So Kellen right now is figuring out the center of where we marked out the screen previously, and I'm gonna help him put a little marker up there. So we got 65 inches, 32 and a half right there. And now we're gonna measure from the floor to that mark, and then from the floor to over here. 70 and a half. Okay. So now we're gonna come over here, 70 and a half up, 49. We're just gonna measure from the ceiling.
Move this down a 1/4 inch.
That way we're a little more precise. We're just measuring from the ceiling down. So that measurement is 49 and a quarter. So we're gonna mark out 49 and a quarter on both sides. Now we're gonna take our cutout template, look at the center mark, which they actually have a little X right here. I just kind of marked out the edge of the template so that I can make sure I am dead on the money. Now we're gonna take our template with a level. It's really important that you level your template. Now the question is, how far do we want the template or the speaker to be off the screen? Because of the difference between the studs, left and right, what I'm going to do is install the right one first and butt it up as close to that stud. You gotta leave about 1 inch. You don't want it right on the stud because those dog legs still need to open, but get it as close as possible to the stud and cut that one in first, and then I'm gonna cut in the left one after I determine how close I can get on the right side. All right, guys, so we have everything templated out now perfect. And we're now gonna move on to the fun part, cutting the holes. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace out each template and then we'll move on to cutting. This is one of my favorite little drywall saws. Obviously we have automatic ones with batteries and all kinds of cool stuff, but I like to show you guys the most typical way. I picked this up for under 10 bucks at Home Depot, and it's just a manual saw, but we're only cutting a couple holes here, so should be nice and easy. Whew.
Good news.
Wow. Talk about unexpected things in the walls.
A random 10-inch long 2x6.
What in the world? Look at this, guys. Like, this is why you hire the pros, because what? Why? Why did they do that? Who knows? The sheetrock guys just, I guess needed to patch a couple pieces together, but wow. All right, guys, we got a little fire break here. I'm gonna try and knock it out. All right, and that's how you remove a fire break. Moving along. This is always the hardest, the front sound stage. Here's a little pro tip, guys. You see how that sheetrock just tried to like tear on me? When you're cutting really small pieces like that, loosen up your grip and just let it slide really fast, but don't put a lot of pressure into the sheetrock so that it can cut off that outside paper without tearing a big hole in the wall. That's happened to me many times, to where hopefully that little pro tip helps you guys. Okay, this side's done. All right, guys, so we actually have to wire the front soundstage here. We're gonna go ahead and just cut a hole straight through the back for our speaker line to shoot out. All right, now we're gonna feed our speaker wires through each. So I'm gonna be using 14-2 shielded oxygen-free speaker wire. All right, so I got our right speaker ran. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. I love to leave extra length, guys. There's nothing worse than being a couple inches too short when you're trying to knock out a project. I'll come over here to this side now. Same thing. 14-2 shielded wire. It's gonna pop right on over. Kellen, do you wanna grab that one for me? Yeah. And then just pull it to the exact same length of the right speaker. Once Kellen pulls that out to length, so we can feed it into our rack, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the wire. All right, Kellen says we're good. I'm gonna leave a little extra length here, cut our wire, and now we get to the fun part. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my shielding back like that. Strip back our red and black wires, about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. This is kind of the finished look that you're going for. Kellen's doing the same thing over here. As you can see, same process over here. Twist the strands together and onto the fun part. We get to install the speakers. Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Whoa, that's a beast. Oh yeah. Looking good.
All right. And I see the drywall is not.
Yep. Not
Take it
perfect.
easy on this one.
So guys, this is a prime example. Whenever we're talking about sheetrock that kind of bends, as you can see right there where that stud is, the sheetrock actually warps. And that's really important to notate, bends and warps like that when you're doing the screen. Nice work, Kellen. Woo! All right, Dreamedia family, moving right along. We got our front right speaker in. Now we're gonna be moving on to our front left. Oh yeah, can't forget. Look at this attention to detail. That's what I'm talking about, guys. It's that special Kellen treatment right here.
Customer's gonna get touch up on paint. Carpet is actually being completely ripped out and we're done. So we still want to be careful, and be mindful.
This here that Kellen's installing is a paint shield and it's magnetic. I freaking love that Focal does this because it allows our painters to come in behind and easily do touch-ups without having to worry about our speakers getting any paint on them. As you guys can see, now we have our front right in at the surround rear left, right, and surround left over here are all put in. So we're moving right along. On to the next one. All right, left speaker, same deal. Red to red, black to black. Make sure none of the wires get crossed or are touching each other. Make sure the shielding's all the way up in there, guys. I would like to warn you guys, Kellen is an experienced installer, but any of you guys who are doing this for the first time, you gotta be really careful whenever you're screwing these dog legs in. See how he's super careful whenever it gets to the end, not to put too much pressure. With this type of drill that he's using, you could potentially snap off the dog legs, which is gonna result in a nightmare. It could damage the sheetrock or break the leg off, but either way, just be really careful, guys, as you're screwing these in.
I like to jump around, kind of back and forth to kind of evenly disperse, because like right up here I can get snug to the sheetrock, but down here, you know, it's a little, don't want to push it too much.
Now we're just gonna go ahead and clean the speaker off, and then we're gonna put on our paint grill over here. Beautiful. All right, Dreamedia family, that is a wrap on our installation of the Focal 1000 series IWLCR6. This is an absolutely phenomenal in-wall speaker, and I'm hopeful that you guys were able to find some inspiration, and hopefully this helps customers who have purchased from us. If you guys are interested in us building your dream home theater, reach out today for a free video consultation with one of our specialists. We're nationwide, and we'd love the opportunity to earn your business. We even have preferred installers in 28 different states who can help you get it put in, as well as a Dreamedia Plus club that you can join for high-end luxury cinema builds, where our senior staff will get hands-on in doing a full-blown system design, everything from renderings, DWG construction drawings, all the way through deployment and installation. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative in helping you make a buying decision. If you like this video, be sure to give us a big thumbs up and smash that subscribe button down below for more. Till next time, this is Zach, out here with Kellen, Dreamedia Home Theater. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.